Hey guys, what's going on? We got another Enhancement Shaman PvP video. We are back in the solo shuffles going for our 2.4. And yeah, we had a really weird one because one, it started off with 30 declines to this shuffle, which was very frustrating. And then Mr. Priest apparently had a power outage, which I'm sure you can see I'm having a hard time believing. But, we tried to stall it out as much as possible, and I just forget to press my defensives and everything because I'm just frustrated that he's not even playing the game. He's not even moving at one bit. So we die very fast. So I make the comment like, great, he's AFK. And then he starts playing, which is very interesting. So, and this is a very weird match as well. So the Boomkin starts off double combo on our priest, getting them in a bunch of CC, and then the dragon's going to do a big old dragon dive thing here. So we go, okay, and we're going to quickly shift onto him. Our priest is dying, but we just get a massive combo, and the dragon just falls over. Yeah, really weird. I agree. So, anyways, now we're on to the real matches. It's myself and the Dev Evoker. We are kind of aiming for the Boomkin, and the reason why is Shadow Priests are very defensive versus Boomkins. I think Shadow Priests are harder to kill. On top of that, if you let a Boomkin do whatever they want, they're going to sit there and spam clone. Now, they do have a Resto Druid, so they are going to be doing that anyways, but yeah, I feel like our best bet was definitely go for the Boomkin as much as possible. So you can see the Boomkin's pushing in. I'm like, okay, he does a War Stomp. Nothing. Usually you'd follow up with a Cyclone after that. I'm not sure why he didn't, but I figured he would have, but he doesn't. And they're very focused on our Disc Breach. So I was like, okay, well, that gives us a bit of an advantage putting pressure onto them without them putting pressure onto us. So it also drags them further away, me being the only melee. But anyways, I got a nice hex off there, but I believe it got dispelled very, very fast. So a bit unfortunate, but it uses the dispel, I guess. But anyways, I get Cyclone, just sit it, whatever. Not a big deal. Dragon's doing a bunch of damage to everybody. I'm just trying to do split damage as well, just hit whatever I can. You can see I get a nice double cap totem here, good combo, double doom wins, and I fail my, I should have used my storm first, but I see the Siphon. Go ahead and Ellie blast that. Boomkin's out of position a little bit, so I should have Feral charged and then Thunderstormed him away quickly, so that way it would have been put him very, very far away, but it is what it is. Anyways, we're starting to get set up here, and this is where the priest suddenly AFKs again. And now I know he's in a solar beam here, but if you back it up again, he kind of just he's AFK and he gets feared there. Okay, so I don't really know what's going on there. Yeah, so he just randomly AFKs again. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe he didn't. Maybe he didn't. I don't know. I can't see his screen. But anyways, we're on to the next match, which is myself and the Boomkin with the Resto Druid. And our target here is going to be the Dev Evoker. Um, like I said in the last round, Shadow Priests are very tanky. They have a high defense value, making them very difficult to kill. So, also, they don't really have any CC. Now, training them is always good because they do an enormous amount of damage, but when I have to choose between an Evoker or a Shadow Priest, I'll probably choose the Evoker. It does suck to chase the Evoker around a whole lot, but it does prevent him from getting his sleeps off because he does have a spammable CC that can go onto our healer. So that's why I chose the Evoker as much as possible. So here, the Evoker starts kiting me around. I see my Druid on a pillar behind me, so I'm like, okay, I don't want to push in too far. He gets slept. So I'm like, okay, I don't have Tremor, which is very unfortunate. I thought I did, but I didn't. So I couldn't break it out. Really sucks. I see him in a fear, but my Tremor just came off cooldown and he was already partially into the fear. So I was like, okay, we're not really in danger, so it's probably best to just sit there and wait. Now, I interrupted a flash heal, which you really shouldn't do against a Shadow Priest, but I don't know why I do it. Anyways, I get a nice double cap totem here. I see the ultimate penitence. This would have been a better use of my interrupt to get that ultimate penitence off. And then here he spam sleeps me, which is interesting because it just puts me on fear DR as well, I believe. So they can't really CC me now. Very very odd. And then he goes for a sleep on the boomkin, I guess. So he's really spamming out his sleeps, and they get a nice cyclone on him. Stop a little bit of damage. I see the priest penitence, so I don't worry about anything. And then we start pressuring them. So here is where the evoker puts himself into a really bad position. Jumps behind. My resto druid sees that, capitalizes it with a maim, and we go ahead and knock him out while the druid was just beaming the disc priest. So it was very, very interesting. But yeah, anyways, myself with the dev evoker, we are going to go for the boomkin. Same reason as last time. He's less defensive, and he has the spammable CC, so it's better to train him. So I see him go after my druid, so I'm like, okay, I gotta follow up with a stun, hopefully stun him, and get his cyclones out of the way so that way he can't CC us. Perfect. The dev evoker comes in with a nice dragon rar, whatever that is, and we got a side fiend out, so we quickly take that out, and now we're topped off. Okay, we can push in a little bit. I hit the Shadow Priest just a little bit, so that way, while I'm making my way to the Boomkin, get a little bit of damage, and I get cloned. This was a pointless trinket because we had nothing to capitalize on, so I don't know why I did it, but I did. It is what it is. It is what it is. So I used my static there, and I think he wild charged it, or he got life gripped. I'm not really sure, but he was able to cheese it and get out of there. And then he jumps to the other side of the map. So I was like, well, you're kind of out of position now. So I start capitalizing that as much as possible. And you can see here, get a cap totem. We start getting a whole bunch of damage. The priest is looking to get some CC or some heals off, but the dragon's on top of him with a dragon. I don't even know what it's called. Death from above. I don't know. Deep breath. Yeah, it's deep breath. So get him with that stun and sleeps, and then you can see here I get the interrupt, go for the hex. Boom. He gets dispelled, or not actually. He doesn't seem to be getting dispelled. I see my healer in a mind control, so I go ahead and quickly purge it, rather than using my tremor totem just in case he gets feared afterwards. But he gets into his mega tree form. Then I see the priest here, so we get a nice grip back with vortex. He pushes away. Okay, that's a whole lot of stuff we got there. So now we can just hit whoever. So the Boomkin's out in the open. The Shadow Priest is kind of close. And then the Dragon gets a full sleep off on the Priest. Perfect. Unfortunately, he gets a nice War Stomp Cyclone on me to stop my damage. Bit unfortunate. But also, I have Doom Winds and I have Primordial Storm coming right up. Get a nice little double stun here. Wolf's Bloodlust, Doom Winds here, and we get a big old Primordial Storm. But the Boom King gets away from me, so I'm like, okay, that was Dispersion. That means the Priest is very open right now. So I'm going to hit the Priest. And so we go ahead, big old LE Blast for 3 million, bringing down the Priest. He had no defensives left. He was right in front of me. Perfect option. And I still had Doom Winds rolling with a Primordial Storm. So here, myself and the Priest once again, and this one, I wanted to go for the dragon. I think it was the wrong choice, though. But anyways, we want to go for the dragon because he seemed to put himself in a bit more of a bad positions, I guess, or very risky positions, I should say. So you can see the Siphon going off. He's not killing it. Okay, great. And we're trying to go after him. Cyclone on the Boomkin. I hit into it, but I don't get anything. Do the Hex onto the Priest. Gets dispelled very fast. And then he gets precog, which I think may have been my fault. I'm not really sure. I thought I was interrupting him correctly, but I guess not. But anyways, get a nice damage. We get pain suppression. The healer is in mind control, which is fine. But at the same time, I would have liked the priest to help me with a little bit of damage. But I understand wanting to CC and see if we can't get any cooldowns out of them. So he gets a nice fear follow-up with that, and then we get slept. So I see the sleep here in a second, or maybe not. Nope, I'm blind to the sleep. Okay, smart me. That should have been caught. Get the interrupt with a silence follow-up, but I have nothing to really catch the dragon here, so it's very unfortunate. And the reason why I say I should have went for the Boomkin is because I feel like the Siphon would work much stronger on the Boomkin than the dragon, because the Boomkin has more self-healing than he does damage reductions. And that's what I'm saying. But you know, we're gonna commit to the dragon because that's what we call. So you see the sleepwalk, get the interrupt, perfect. He's doing a whole bunch of damage here. Drop my cage, you can't get away. Okay, perfect. I got a little wombo combo coming up here, a little spin to win, but his HP doesn't move. Very unfortunate. I should be bringing out Rocky here in a minute just to get something, but I peel off, try and get some line of sight. The priest is in the middle of all of them, which is kind of a weird spot, but we see the cyclone, so we quickly shift over to the boomkin, but the healer gets a nice little cyclone back on him. Go ahead and knock him away from my group, so that way we can't, and we can isolate the dragon. But he gets gripped back, which is very unfortunate. Try and follow up. He's still got Siphene, so he's taking very little healing, but he's just got so much defense quality. It's ridiculous. I don't know how he's surviving. It's just like wild. So drop it. He starts pushing in again for our healer, so I go ahead and interrupt the sleepwalk. But we're just slowly rotting away here. We try to pick ourselves up, trying to help with healing, CC, all of that, just trying to stall damage as much as possible. I don't think the druid really has anything left, and we ended up losing. It's a bit unfortunate, but it is what it is. But anyways, guys, that is it for this video. Thanks so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed, and hopefully I'll see you in the next one. Later!